as our cruise ship arrives here in Sicily, Messina, in other words, we are going to hop on a bus and take it all the way up to Mount Etna. That's right. It's about an hour and a half drive. The port of Messina in itself is amazing with all of its old architecture and all of the buildings that are built right into the side of the mountains. There's tunnels and it's mountainous. It's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So we're going to take the ride about an hour and a half south to Mount Etna. During our ride, we are going to see vineyards, citrus groves, and all kinds of small villages. The drive up there isn't for the weak. As you can tell, we are on windy roads. They're very narrow, and some of them are one way. Stay tuned. I just happened to be in the front seat, so I got all the good action. We're coming around this crazy turn, and all of a sudden, there's another bus right in our way. We did end up hitting it in the side of the bus, but it was just very minimum, so our driver had to back up. Now remember, we're on an incline, and we're also on a very narrow road, so hopefully nobody's coming behind us or in front of us on either side, because they're not going to be able to get around. So this was a bit scary. We actually had to back up and go forward and back up and go forward 3 or 4 times. Finally, we were able to get enough room to where each bus could pass, because our bus is as big as this other bus.
Oh, backing up again.
You know, I had to give my view on this. Once we get around that corner, we are finally able to see Mount Etna. Etna is a very active volcano, and you can tell by all the smoke coming out of her. This road makes it look like Mount Etna is not too far up the road, but it's actually probably a good another 45 minutes away, so. But we did stop and we were able to take some really good shots of it from the side of the roads. Mount Etna is an active volcano on the east coast of Sicily. The name comes from the Greek antonym antinino, which means I burn. Mount Etna is the highest active volcano in Europe. Its topmost elevation being around 10,900 feet. Like other volcanoes, it varies in height, increasing from deposition during eruptions and decreasing from the periodic collapse of the crater's rim. In 1865, the volcanic summit was about 170 feet, higher than it was in the early 21st century. As we get closer to the little area where they have parking and restaurants and tourist stuff, you can see the people starting to hike the mountain up to the summit. It doesn't look too rough from the road, but once you get over there, it is pretty steep and it's slippery because it's all volcanic dust, like sand. So there's also a ski lift that will take you up closer to the top. So the Rifugio Sapienza, or Etna South, that is where the visitor center and the cars park. This whole area is full of restaurants and little shops and souvenirs and things like that. So this is a lava from Mt Etna. How high up we are. It's amazing. It's so high up. It's so beautiful. There's a lava field over there. Keep going. Oh, this is so cool. At the visitor centers, we are way up high, and everything is volcanic rock. So at some point, this had been just volcanic rock and they built upon it. They have a lot of lookouts, which is amazing. We're almost higher than the clouds at this point. And there's the black lava sand that I was talking about. And there's that windy road. You can see the bus going back down. And that's another little volcano that's off in the distance. Summit tours can be purchased at the visitor center. They start at 9 a.m. and they last around 6 hours. They cost about 50 to 100 euros per person. And there it is. So there's a little thing that takes you way up the mountain, but we will not be going up there today. Maybe if I ever visit again, because I like to come back here and just hang out. So they have a little place where you can get some coffee and some little snacks and stuff, a gift store. This is, I think, the first place up that you can go. So the Silvestri Mountains are also known as the Silvestri Craters. They are two pyroclastic cones formed north of Nicolosi at an altitude of about 1,900 meters on the slopes of the Etna volcano. The two craters that make up the main eruption apparatus of 1892 eruption lasted 173 days and traveled about 7 kilometers, stopping just above the city of Nicolosi at an altitude of 970. Today, they are among the best known cones of the entire volcanic building because they are close to one of the most popular tourist areas of Etna. The Silvestri craters are extinct, and you can walk their rims and explore them up close. Mt. Etna is Europe's tallest volcano. It stands approximately 10,922 feet, making it the tallest active volcano in Europe. Its height changes with each eruption due to the accumulation or loss of volcanic material. The volcano's origin date back about 500,000 years, and it has been erupting continuously for around 2,700 years. It makes it one of those world's oldest active volcanoes too. In Greek mythology, Mt. Etna was believed to be the home of Vulcan, the god of fire, and the forge of Hephaestus. Legends say that the giant typhoon was trapped under the mountain by Zeus. Mt. Etna's frequent eruptions have shaped its landscape and the lives of those living nearby. On average, Mt. Etna erupts once every 3 months. They can range from minor lava flows to explosive events that send ash plumes way up high in the sky. Lava can travel at speeds up to 60 kilometers per hour. It creates extensive lava fields over the centuries. The The volcano has 4 summit craters and more than 300 vents on its flanks. These craters and vents are the sources of its frequent eruptions. Lava tubes and caves formed by flowing lava are scattered around Mt. Etna. The largest horseshoe depression on the eastern side of Etna is a result of a massive collapse around 8,000 years ago. It is one of the most striking features of the volcano. Due to the high number of eruptions that Etna has experienced in the past, the soil surrounding it is extremely fertile. People around Etna grow several things such as grapes, citrus fruits, and even vegetables. Estimates state that almost 3/4 of Sicily's food needs are satisfied by the fertile region around Etna. Being an active volcano, it is almost inevitable that there will be loss of life and property. On March 8, 1669, in what was the biggest eruption to date, 20,000 people died. Molten lava was evicted from the mountain with such force that ash was seen over 100 miles from Etna. The result was a loss of another 17,000 souls. Recently, scientists have unearthed another interesting fact about Etna and the island of Sicily in general. Scientists have now determined that the whole island of Sicily is slowly sliding towards the Mediterranean Sea. Every year, it has been determined the whole island slides on an average distance of 14 millimeters. Sicily is a main tourist attraction around the world, with Mt. Etna being one of the things that draw people to the island every year. Around the mountain is the Via Circumnia, which is a narrow-gauge railway that is built between 1889 and 1895. The rail measures around 68 miles, it is a semicircle, and it runs from Catania to Reposto. The 2 ski resorts on Etna also serve as an attraction. One of the resorts is at Spezia Refuge, while the other smaller one is Piano Provenzania, close to La Glenlosa. Now it's time for that hour-and-a-half ride back to the Port of Messina. I hope you enjoyed my video on Mt. Etna. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. And remember, it's up to you to make it fun and make it yours. We'll see you the next time.